Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Empower716. Listen, this is a podcast show for entrepreneurs, business owners, side hustlers, career shifters, those who are committed to building their life and business. So, I think we are on episode number 20. And so for those who are watching us, listening to us on the podcast, make sure you make sure you share this, get this valuable information that we're learning from so many entrepreneurs across Western New York and add value to someone else because it's all about giving. And so if we can grow from it, we're helping ourselves, our families, and our communities. So I'm going to jump right into it. Episode number 20. I have the pleasure to have in the building or house, whatever you want to call it, Mr. Yves-Richard Blanc in the building. Did I say it right?
It was 99. And it's the S is silent.
The S is silent.
Right. So it's Eve, just like Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Yves-Richard Blanc.
I love it. I always butcher people's names. I always have to apologize in advance because
I deal with that every day.
You know, you ever see somebody out there in the community and you're like, I know the face, but I don't want to say the name.
Well, I'm horrible with names. I'm great with faces because I capture people all the time. And so it will give you an understanding of. But, you know, the great thing about my name is that it always starts a conversation because people mispronounce my name, and I love to have conversations.
So what's the meaning of your name? So give me the story behind your name.
My name is French. So I usually tell people, think of Yves Saint Laurent, who's one of the most eclectic and incredible designers ever. So my mother came up with the name, and I just absolutely love it.
Yes.
I think it's a great name. It's easy. It's marketable. People constantly are asking about it, which is nice. It starts the conversation.
And I'm sure
I love to make new friends all the time, so it works really well.
And I'm sure it's Googleable because, I mean, when you have a unique name, I mean, it's just going to...
Absolutely. So, again, those are the benefits for me as an entrepreneur and a business person.
Okay. So you also have another name out there. So, Hedgehog King.
Right. And I'll tell a little bit about the story behind that.
Yeah.
One of my really good friends, who's I think a marketing genius, this guy, Shine.
Okay.
He owns a business here in Buffalo. He had done some work with me. And Valentino Shine.
Valentino Shine, yep. We had him on the show.
Right. Great guy. And, I'd done some work with him. He loves my stuff. He says, man, you're like the Hedgehog King. He says, we're going to hashtag this. And ever since, that was like 3 years ago. And, he's been putting it up as a hashtag. So I started using it. So now everybody, instead of really calling me Eve, they call me Hedgehog King. So, which I totally accept. I love it. I think it's fantastic. I even have some gear that says Hedgehog King.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. It's real dope. So why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Well, I was born in Haiti in the Caribbean. I came to the States when I was 8. My parents were living in Brooklyn, New York. They came to the U.S. I mean, we were middle class in Haiti, but they came to the U.S. with pretty much a small suitcase and the clothes on their backs, right?
Wow.
They wanted a better life for myself and my 2 sisters at the time. So they made the sacrifice to move to the States, which I thought, thinking in hindsight, was the best decision they've ever made. So immediately coming to the States, my siblings and I, we went to school in Montreal. So we lived there for about 6 years. I did my middle schooling in Manhattan. Since we lived in Brooklyn, I did my high school in Brooklyn, and I went to college in Manhattan. That's where I learned photography. I started shooting when I was 15. I fell in love. I went to FIT in New York City, Fashion Institute of Technology. That's where I studied commercial photography. I worked in the industry for about 5 years when I was younger. I worked for a commercial photographer, a fashion photographer, and a headshot photographer.
Okay.
He did mostly a lot of actors in Manhattan. His studio was in Manhattan. But after a while, I got married early, and I got involved in sales and marketing.
Okay.
I was a financial advisor for about 9 years, and then I set up my own consulting firm in 2000.
Okay.
I worked a lot with people in the healthcare industry, a lot of docs, nurses, people who were setting up their own clinics. And as a matter of fact, through that company, that's how I ended up moving to Buffalo. Byron Brown at the time was a state senator, and I was doing some political consulting for two of his colleagues who were in the state senate.
Okay.
So they invited him to come to Brooklyn to have a conversation with minority-owned businesses. So I was one of the people in the room, private meeting. And then, afterwards we had some discussion. He invited me to come and visit Buffalo. He says, listen, you should really consider doing some business up here, expand your business, expand your clients' business. So I decided to invite a number of my clients. 12 of them answered in the positive. So they traveled up in 2004 in April, right? So this month makes it exactly 18 years.
Wow.
I landed in. Now, I had gone through Buffalo prior on my
Just
way
kind
to
of throw through.
All right, in my way to Carolina.
Just pass us through, right?
Pass it through. And so when I came, we had some great meetings.
Yeah.
I mean, there were people that I met that very first day to tell you, Brian Davis. He was the councilman at the time.
Shout out to
I met
Brian
him
Davis.
that first. That's how long I know Brian. Damone Smith.
Yep.
He was in the Ledge at the time, right? I met him that first day. His whole staff. Commissioner of Services in the city of Buffalo, Otis Barker.
Otis,
Sr.
yeah, shout out to Otis.
So all three of those people, I just became really long life friends with them because I met them on my very first day landing in Buffalo. Those guys, I'm very, very tight with them. And of course, Byron has been a tremendous support of the work that I do here in Buffalo. And so that's how I ended up in Buffalo. And, one of my clients asked me in late 2004 to remain in Buffalo full time to run the business. That two of them, 12 people came, two accepted the challenge to expand their business in Buffalo. I did some work for both were in healthcare. And then one guy wanted me to help him out, develop the business. I stayed in. We ran that business for about 10 years and helped a lot of people in the community.
Wow.
So, I continue to do consulting. I've owned, my business. And 5 years ago, I decided to go back to my first love, which was really creating with photography.
Now, before I cut you off, Don, was that a huge step or like a challenge for you to kind of make that change or to go back to it?
All.
So tell me about that process you took from deciding that.
Yeah, the process is, business is business for me. I would say, yes, over my lifetime, I'm a serial entrepreneur, right? So I've done a lot of businesses. I made a lot of money. I've lost a lot of money. I've done a lot of different things, right?
Right.
But going back to my first love, I did it purely to really more to relax and have a certain, fun with it.
Yeah.
People started seeing my work. They were going nuts over it. And I said, well, you got to start paying, right? Which I thought was a great idea.
Absolutely.
And then, just started doing it. And I was doing it part-time because I was working with a firm I was the director of business development. So my job working, again, in healthcare was to bring in business to get contracts done, to really grow the company. And in about 2.5 years, the company had 6 employees when I got there. In 2.5 years, when the pandemic hit, they had 26 people. We doubled their revenue.
Wow.
So, we really did a lot of stuff. Just like everybody else, and I wouldn't say everybody, but a lot of folks, when the pandemic happened, it completely changed my life. I said, I decided, because sometimes people don't understand your value if you're doing stuff in their company.
Right.
And I know I'm a guy who really goes out there and meets folks, find out what their issues and concerns are. And I want to deliver a solution for that problem.
Right.
That's what over the years has really helped me really develop a strong brand, a good business.
Now to cut you off real quick, now do you think I was talking to, we had Lakeisha Monet Collins on Monday,
Right.
and I was talking to her about the difference between a photographer and an entrepreneur.
Right.
Do you think that that business experience that you had in the healthcare field, you know, and that kind of understanding the structure, getting people more business and clients,
Right.
helped you run your business?
Absolutely. Now, understanding, and I tell young creatives all the time, it's wonderful that you come up with these great concepts. There are loads of fun. The
Yeah.
photos are beautiful. Blah blah blah. You know, you're throwing stuff because you have a love to get likes and all that
Right.
stuff. I could care less about all that.
Right.
For me, I am a corporate photographer.
Mm-hmm.
I have to deliver solutions that are going to help my clients.
Right.
So when I do a branding session, I have consultation with these clients. I find out what they're looking for, why they're looking for that stuff, how is it going to be of value to their business, right?
Right.
There's two things that I do within my business. Either I'm going to make you happy, look stunning, and you're going to be excited about the final files. It's something that makes you feel good. You want to share with your family, your friends, and everything else.
Right.
The other thing, people hire me because they're looking for a great headshot, looking for a branding shot, or shots for their website. It's about marketing and building their business.
Yeah.
I need to deliver in that scope because if they cannot use the product that I deliver to them to grow their business, I have not done my job, no matter how beautiful it is.
Right.
So again, it's two different things. And understanding that I've run companies, I know how to do business development, I know how to market myself, and I know how to run something day to day has helped me grow my business that I can do. It's a real business.
Right.
I'm not only just a photographer or a creative person. I am also the president of I'm running a business.
Right.
That's why most of my clients are corporations. For example, you know, I am one of 3 corporate headshot photographer for M&T Bank here. I do a lot of work with various banks here. You know, I have a contract with my second year of a 5-year contract with University at Buffalo. I am their headshot photographer. So I capture anywhere from their deans, the top executives there, to the professors, to staff, to the graduate students, or, you know, I mean, for example, 2 weeks ago, I was engaged by the School of Nursing. Myself and my assistant, we were on the campus, created a pop-up studio. We captured 75 individuals in just 2 days.
Wow.
So they utilize a lot of my work for the website, for you know, all sorts of marketing, promotional stuff.
That's really nice.
They utilize it as well because you have a lot of professors who do tremendous amount of research. The University at Buffalo is such an impactful global institution.
Absolutely.
So they publish books, they do all sorts of stuff. So my work through the university goes all over the world. So again, it's a great opportunity. Buffalo State College is also a client of mine, so I do tons of work for them. So I target companies that may take value in what I do. Not only big corporation, but I have a lot of small companies who are clients of mine.
I love
because I want to be able to share my expertise with particularly individuals in our community that I can help them with my experience, not only create something spectacular, but also advise them how they should use it to get the most benefit out of it. Because for me, yes, I'm going to get paid because, as you're saying, I am relentless in my marketing and building something.
Absolutely.
The business will come. But if I'm creating without an impact for my clients, I am losing every day. Because making the money is not enough. I gotta make a difference. I love to see my clients get gigs. I love to see them be successful. That's why I do what I do every day.
I love your the mindset of wanting to add value. I think obviously that's the essence of a business owner is
Absolutely.
to solve a problem. What can I offer to provide solutions to
And
other
that's what we were
companies?
discussing off camera.
Yes.
It's amazing. And,
Yeah.
you have to be driven by that every day.
Yeah.
Because you gotta be impactful.
Yeah.
And you gotta be positive too.
Yeah. I want to go back to the pandemic. Now, a lot of things offset from the pandemic. We lost a lot of people.
Right.
People losing what they thought was something consistent in their life as far as jobs, incomes, and things of that nature. How did the pandemic impact you?
That's a great question. I got laid off.
Yeah.
I was the first person at the company I got laid off. I took about a week to reassess.
Yeah.
It took a week. I decided this is a great thing.
Mm. Now, let me interrupt you because I went through that part too of
Right.
that kind of like, okay, what's happening here?
Right.
You got laid off. Now I want to kind of like, where was your mindset in that moment? Like, okay, before you reposition yourself.
First and foremost, I was pretty pissed off.
Yeah.
Right. I was annoyed because I was the driver financially for this company. But I also understood as a business person that, during a time of uncertainty like this, you have to reassess and reduce your costs and manage. I thought it was going to be something that was going to be temporary.
Right.
But after really thinking and knowing what I was going through, I reassessed very quickly and made some decisions. And I was doing my photography part-time. I was doing very well with the, working there at the company. I made the decision probably within 2 weeks, I need to focus more while I'm out on my photography.
Wow.
I made the decision, I realized everybody was going to be virtual. So which means, you need to look great. You have to have a great headshot.
Yeah.
So I started branding and marketing that stuff. It started building up. In the meantime, I did a little bit of consulting for an IT firm for several months, and once I decided I was going to launch, that's when I launched my full-time website on October 1st. I did big hoopla with it. We launched, and from October 1st of 2020, it's just been amazing the amount of referrals I've been getting. And, I've done it full-time ever since. And, I've done better and better every single year. Even last year, when I got sick, I had worked only, 3/4 of the year because I got sick in October. And I still did better than 2020. And, 2020, I did better than 2019 when I was working. So for me, is understanding with the pandemic, there was something very negative going on. People were getting sick. But there were individuals who were looking to do better themselves.
Yeah.
I know there were concerns out there. There was a problem.
Yeah.
I decided I was going to be part of the solution and not sit back and just feel bad for myself.
Right.
But it took research. It took time. I understood what I needed to do, how to go forward. So instead of, being out of work and just, I got to watch my pennies, what I did, I took money and I put it into my business, rebrand myself, pushed everything, and really targeted people who were having problems every day. I came up with the solutions to help those folks. Once they started doing well, the brand continued to grow. People understood who I was. And, when the contract opportunity came out, I went out and wrote a proposal. I ended up winning that contract. You're talking about really going full-time within my first quarter. People started seeing what I was doing to help others.
Wow.
And that's what, I said to people all the time. If you're running a business, if you're doing it only to make money, you will always have problems.
Yeah, because you're really chasing the wrong thing, and it's gonna come out. Yeah,
it's got to be about bringing a solution to people.
Right, and the money comes after.
Oh, automatically,
it's gonna follow you.
I never worry about that, even though what I charge is what I charge. I'm not working, I'm not running a corner store or
a charity,
or I'm not selling, something, a piece of cloth where you can bargain with.
Yeah.
My fees are serious. They are what they are because I know the value of what I deliver.
And before we go and talk about fees, I want to go back to October of 2021. And I kind of want you to talk about the tribulation you experienced so that it kind of helps everyone else. So kind of walk me through that.
Well, for the most part, I was a pretty healthy guy, 56 years old. I did a lot of walking. I went to the gym. I ate well. I don't eat fried foods. I don't eat steak. I don't do a lot of that. So I don't drink. I don't smoke. It's just really enjoying my family.
Yeah.
Really good stuff. I had a stroke on October 17th.
That's the day of my birthday. Wow.
Yeah, is that
Yeah.
okay? It was 8 a.m. in the morning, and I felt like firecrackers were going off in my head. And at the moment, I didn't realize what's happening. And within a few seconds, I fell to the ground.
Wow.
And I could not stand up. So, and I felt immediately nauseous. And I felt like I needed to barf. I could not move. My balance completely went out. I literally had to crawl next to my bed to our ensuite bathroom in our bedroom. So my wife was completely devastated, obviously. Um, and I said, all right, I think I need to go to the hospital. I said, okay, fine, we'll go down the stairs. You can take me.
Right.
My wife said, no way. We're going to call the ambulance. We're able to do that. The two gentlemen who were in the ambulance, again, you know, they had a discussion with us. We went to the very best hospital here in Buffalo, which is Buffalo General.
They're awesome, do an awesome job.
Because they have, for this type of illness, right, an injury, because it had to do with my neural and my brain, and that's where the UB neurosurgery group resides. Those guys were amazing.
Wow.
And so I went there and ended up spending 3 weeks in the hospital. I had a surgery, angiogram through an artery for them to start the bleeding, stop the bleeding. I've been on the recovery. As a matter of fact, the first 24 hours were touch and go. I did not know I was going to make it.
Wow.
So believe it or not, I started making preparations. I had my sisters fly in. I had a family member, my kids who live different parts in the country, because I wanted to have a meeting with them because I didn't know if I was going to make it or not.
Wow.
I even had, private meetings with my wife, letting her know that everything was set up for her and how to take care of the kids. And, my ex-wives, I, spoke with them also. But by Monday evening, and that was Sunday morning, the surgeon came in. They told me, hey, listen, I think you're stabilizing. I think we should have a first procedure in about 3 days. And from that moment on, I was on it, man.
Wow.
My mindset completely changed from someone who was really making sure things were in place to take care of my family.
Absolutely.
To someone who's battling now, who's looking forward to being there with his family.
Wow.
So, again, I had a tremendous group of nurses at the hospital who took care of me around the clock. I mean, it's just been unbelievable, this team of professionals there. And they understood because they deal with these type of injuries and illnesses every single day. And so the fight was amazing. I mean, even when I got discharged there, from the neuro intensive care unit, those nurses were like, you're like the most incredible patient we had. I said, listen, you guys are working so hard to save my life every single day. It was just amazing. So everything they asked me to do, I tried to do it the best of my ability, even though my strength was completely gone. But I used that as a lesson, because there's so many people that go through this because they're not thinking every day how great they are in the process and how they need to be positive. Because, in your health, you are a partner with every professional that's taking care of you.
Absolutely.
Because they themselves can only do a certain amount of stuff. The power of the mind is so strong. Even though I had an injury of my brain, but my mind, my spirit, my connection to God was still very strong. And I believed every single day, if I was still alive, God wanted me to be on this planet to create something spectacular. And
I want to just real quick.
That was my drive.
I want to go back to your mental state. Was it difficult for you to kind of look at one who didn't smoke, didn't drink, had a clean bill of health, to kind of get in that mindset, like, why me? Why did this happen to me?
I gotta be honest with you, I never thought that.
Yeah.
I thought that was just part of the process. And when the surgeon told me, hey, listen, it happens to about 200,000 Americans in the U.S. every year who are exactly in my situation. Obviously, people who have ill health, they're more apt to being injured because, being sick and this type of stuff. And a great deal of them do not make it.
Right.
Right. But I didn't think it was I just thought it was natural selection. Right. It happened to me. And that gave me a reason for me to get together with my kids, my biological kids, my stepkids, to really drive onto them about what it is to be positive, to go forward. Because everything I do in my life, I want to be a role model to my children first and foremost, and the people that understand what they need to do and to go forward. I never thought negatively of anything. I asked tons of questions, and even, I would communicate with my wife. She would be my advocate to check everything with the staff and everything. She was absolutely amazing. I told her before, I got sick, maybe, I might check out and, do. But this woman is for life for me.
Wow.
You're just teasing her, right? But she's an incredible person, a life partner, and just a wonderful mother. Throughout the whole process, she was so incredible because she is equally as a positive individual as I am. So we fought through this process together. Of course, I had the support of my kids. I had support of family member, parents, extended and so forth. But for me, it was, I never blame anybody else. It happened. What are we going to do to
about
win?
it? Yeah. And that's a solution-based thinking.
Absolutely.
So the recovery, did you have, I guess, during your recovery process, did it give you the more drive to kind of say, like, going back to your passion and what you love to do?
Absolutely, every single day.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I think about after 3 months, I went back to the studio and I saw my studio for the first time after 90 days. I saw my beautiful paintings because part of my studio, I've turned it into almost a gallery. I saw my strobe units. I saw my lights, my camera. I mean, I was emotionally drained in that moment.
Yeah.
Because I'm going back to something that I love. Because during that whole time, it was all about me creating and helping others.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being at home, when I got a chance, and I couldn't be on the computer all the time, I would answer stuff because everything, Robert, I had to relearn to do, including learning to retype, learning to read a statement, all those things. And everything that I did, I would almost engage few brain cells. And so it required a lot of energy, and I needed to rest thereafter. So that's the problem. I mean, people have no idea what I went through. I mean, people used to send me messages all the time, and they would say, hey, listen, oh, you're awesome. You're positive. You're great. You're going to be great. You're a champion. You're amazing. Thank God. I tell folks all the time, but they have no idea how hard I worked to be able to have a normal conversation with you today.
Wow.
And so I fight every single day. Yes, the progress has been immense for me and very quickly. Even my own surgeon said so. But I've had the best team locally. Team Schneider at the UBMD Neurosurgery Group, that guy is brilliant. This is a global speaker as a neurosurgeon.
Wow.
The guy speaks all over the world, attends all sorts, and this is the kind of surgeon I had working on me.
Amazing.
I had some of the best neuro nurses in Buffalo treating me and helping me out through this process. I had the best neuro rehab people, PT, OT, and speech working with me. There are absolute experts in this region when it comes to strokes. And I would dare to say there are some of the best in the whole state. And that is the truth. So that is a blessing for me. Okay? But at the same time, if I was not engaged in everything that I was doing, I do not think I would be able to be here today with you. I'd be alive, but I would not be able to do this kind of conversation or to be back to doing something that I love.
Yeah.
And also to earn a living. I enjoy my lifestyle. My wife enjoys her lifestyle. Those things are important to me.
Yes.
I have notes I got to pay because I got kids in college. That's one of the things I want to do for them. And I am missed, training, teaching young creatives. And I got a great young guy working with me. As a matter of fact, I have several, depending on the gigs that we do. So to me, working and teaching others through the process that I do, not only through the creative process, but through my business as well, is tremendous. So I thank God all the time. I have a personal relationship with God. I'm not the kind of guy who's going to go from church to church or got to be somewhere,
Right.
or even understanding that I'm a guy who's going to get up and pray. My prayer is like 90% asking God for something. I barely ever ask God for anything. God always gives me health, okay? As long as God gives me health, that means he's already given me the knowledge, the understanding, the mindset to be great. Now God is telling me you need to put it to work. Stop sitting around asking. God already blessed you because you have the knowledge, you have the understanding. What are you going to do to be great to others?
And so that's so important that you said that, because I think even, with the relationship with God, I think as you grow in your relationship with God, you realize that God, give me some insight, give me instruction, but then there's the do. Like I'm going to open up. I'm going to give you some insight and vision.
Yes. You got to make it happen.
You got to make it happen. I think that's so important. I think in any area of our life,
absolutely,
you got to do the work, and you got to put into it. And like you said, do your research in any area of your life. I think then you grow from it.
100%. But again, the other great thing, is that it's not only after you've done this research, you've done well for yourself. You need to share what you've learned with others. Make others better. Through either your work, your mindset, your knowledge, your support, because God is giving you all the stuff. Free of charge.
Free of charge. Now,
God never charges you anything.
It is a blessing. I want to go to your business, because I think one of the things that makes you stand out in what you do is the experience that you provide. And I think one is that if you're passionate about what you do, it's really going to rub off on other people. And I want to talk about I don't want to say of a strategy, because I think it's just genuinely coming from you, that you give your clients that experience. That one is, it's very intimidating sometimes if you've never been in front of a camera, and I don't know if my smile is right, or I don't like this, I don't like how much I weigh, so I don't cover this part. So you really give people a great experience. I want you to share a little bit about that.
When you come to Blanc Photography, it is not only about the final product. It is about the journey. It's about the experience. We make our clients feel really special, either in studio or on location. And that's why I get tons of repeat business. I get, tons of, I do a consultation if it's a new client. I need to know what's on your mind. What are you looking for? Why do you want to pay this fee for a photograph? What's the reasoning behind it? What are you looking to accomplish short-term, long-term with it? And we want to deliver exactly what is best for you. So I don't pull out my camera and hope a great photograph is going to happen. We plan out to shoot because I know I'm going to give you exactly what you need. And if it does not happen, you're not happy, I'm redoing it for you. Because we have to get the solution. For me, we got to find that solution. We got to give you what you need either to make you happy or look beautiful and have a great time, or to deliver for your company where you can grow. You can use our creative process to help you build your brand, help you build your company, go after contracts. And because if I'm not doing this, what's the sense, right? And for me, that's what's really important to me. Again, is because it's truly the right way for me to have my work outlive me, because even if those photographs are changed, somebody else, they're not using them, but part of the process of your growth of your business, I was part of it. And that really makes me feel, when I hear back from my clients that, they've been branding, they got a new gig, they got a new contract, man, I am doing backflips in my head. Obviously, I can't do them now anymore. But I'm so excited for them because that was the reasoning on why I wanted to do that work with them. For example, I am a black man living in Buffalo, right? All these things, there's a lot of business out there. I never worry about where my business is coming from. I do business with everybody. I mean, major corporations hire me, white folks hire me, Latinos, immigrants, you name it.
Yeah.
And I've been doing photography for 35 years. I'm commercially trained. So for me, the key to my success, listen to this, folks. It's very easy. It's great lighting. I can use any equipment.
Now, what's the name of your person? Is Mini? Is it the
What's that?
The Mini is your product or the your mannequin that you have in your office?
Headshots?
Yeah, the lighting person you have.
Right. So what I do, I create really beautiful lighting to be able to capture the best of people, depending on the assignment. We have different packages that we put together, but I would say about 70% of my business is headshots, both corporate and personal, right? Depending on what they're looking to do. Currently now this month, what I'm trying to do is really get a lot of individuals more involved for them to really create their own brand and work with them. This month, for example, we started last month. It is I'm creating what's called a mimosa Saturday, and what we're going to be doing is shooting a bunch of mini sessions for headshots. Wow. So folks will come in. When you come in my studio, we're going to have refreshments. We're going to have mimosas. We're going to have champagne. We're going to have wine. We do all that stuff. We make people very comfortable. I have relationship with several incredible makeup artists. We have stylists. We have set designers. My assistant is a certified drone operator. He is a videographer. So we create all sorts of content to help our clients, small and large. I do tons of headshots with attorneys. It's one area that they need content for their website. We do quite a bit of those kind of things. Last year was really funny. About 6 people were running for city court. 5 out of the 6 came to me for their headshots. I do tons of headshots for politicians, for campaigns, for judges, for people in all sorts stuff. And, I do a lot of fundraising events as well, corporate events. I don't do personal events, birthday parties, things like that. But a lot of the corporate stuff. I have several very high-level politicians statewide that I do their work for them as well.
Let me ask you a question regarding the structure of your business, because if I'm starting off in the photography business, I want to know, what steps do I take to get to where you are now? Because part of adding that different experience, obviously you're recognizing different needs as you work with different clients, and to go to now having the art displayed around your studio, to now making sure that it's just not one studio where it's cold in there and you take a picture, but giving them that great experience. Just talk about that level.
That is so important because people understand that's part of my brain. Even I had a small studio when I was part-time. People came in there. It was cold in there. It was hot during the summer. But the rest of the stuff, people would kill themselves to come to me. Right? Because I made them feel special the moment they walked through the door. As a matter of fact, I made them feel special the moment I started talking with them because they realized the moment was not about me. It was all about them. They have choices. Yes, I am a terrific photographer technically, but I am a much better person in understanding the value that I bring to people. That's what really driven my success. And so they came, but they felt special in my studio. It's a small space, but I did only headshots there, right? I had my lighting, I did everything, but people felt like they were a big-time star when they came to my studio. That's the way I want every client to feel. And now having Rafa, who's aboard with our company, who does all our videography, we do behind-the-scenes videos. And then we share that stuff with our clients. So now they feel like they're a true celebrity.
Absolutely.
And we provide a lot of these great content to them that helps them build their business. So I get clients all the time who have never had a headshot, or people who haven't had one in 10 years and 20 years, and they're nervous. They're like, hey, this is a piece of cake. I got you. And the fact is, I capture people both outwardly and inwardly. And what do I mean by that? Yes, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What may look stunning to one person may not from the other. So I capture not only your outer skin, right? Your face, your body, your mannerism, but I capture the beauty that is within you that really creates the individual and understanding. I have conversations ongoing when I'm shooting with clients. I'm directing them because I want the best self to come out. So when I capture it in that second, in that millisecond, that is the thing that comes up in that photograph. It speaks of who that person is. It makes them in that moment. People are like, oh my God, I can't believe that is me. And I tell them, that is exactly you. You don't see yourself that way, but my job is to bring out the true you, the jovialness. Even if it's a portrait that I'm doing that the person's not smiling, but there is an emotion that I can bring out that is unique to them in that moment. That's my goal, is to capture that so that when they share it with people, folks are going to be like, oh my God, that's Auntie Mary right there. It may be a cousin who's in Alabama who's looking at their cousin who's taken a stunning portrait to celebrate something in their lives. They're remembering, right, somebody else through that individual. They're remembering their cousin when they used to go to high school together. And for me, I want to invoke that kind of emotion. That's why you hear the passion in my voice, because something like that, I deliver something that's different for each individual. And I want people to not only remember the session that we had, I want them to really feel good about it, but now every time they look at the shot I did for them, they remember the process of us creating it together. And that's very, very important for me.
I love that. Now, one of the other questions I have for you is, you know, obviously you're well known around city of Buffalo and outside of Buffalo.
Right.
And corporate deals, a lot of photographers would love to be in a position just to have corporate contracts, things of that nature. How do you continue to stay on the path that you're in without being stagnant? Like, far as, you know, you got these contracts, you got this going on, and everybody sees your work.
No, they tell me I am a marketing and business developer by training.
Yeah.
So every new person I meet, every opportunity on social media, everything that I'm sharing, it's all about giving to others.
Absolutely.
When you give a lot, there's so much that comes back. I mean, you know, pastors say this all the time in church. People take it just as words. I live by it.
Yeah.
I like to share my knowledge. I bring assistants. I bring young creatives through the studio. I tell them everything that I do. Now, my systems are my systems. I can share with anybody. Doesn't mean that whatever you're going to create is going to be the same thing for me. And there's different ways for me to motivate others.
Right.
I never stop. Now, at some point, I'll probably sell the company or I'll just retire and travel the world. That's really what I want to do. Preferably places that are very warm. And my wife thinks the same. But for me, I continually, because I'm running a company, I want to get better every single day.
Yeah.
Right? I look for opportunities for growth. And that's why I tell photographers all the time, Courtney now running the business, go out there, be your best self, but network. Find out people who are having issues that you can solve.
Right.
I am in the solution business. Who happens to be an entrepreneur who is a photographer. Yeah. I'm a businessman first. So folks who do not think that way, you're not going to grow your business.
Yeah.
I am in the solution business, either with corporate or with personal. Because now folks will say, what solution do you need if somebody wants a beautiful picture? I'm making them happy. They're coming to me because they have a desire for something.
Right.
Once I deliver that, it's a solution that I just gave them. So now they're going to walk out of my studio space happy with the outcome. Not only the final product, but the process of respecting them in the process. Making them, listen, everybody has a choice on this planet.
Absolutely.
We work hard for our money. We have a choice on who we're going to pay that money to and get the service. So I want to tell everybody out there, make sure if you are spending your money, you get the kind of product and service you deserve. Do not let people disrespect you and they're taking your money.
Now, actually, I want to, you make a good point on here. So this is actually, which is perfect. The question I was just going to ask you next was from a customer perspective. And I know when I first, hired my first photographer for an event, I didn't know what the right questions, and so I just
Right.
thought someone with a camera that
Right.
knew what they were doing,
Right.
I can hire them. But then if you don't ask those questions, so how do you prepare like a customer that is maybe looking for someone like you or different events? Like, what are the type of, I guess, what should you look for in a
Well,
photographer?
first and foremost, I got a lot of clients who have no clue what they want.
Right.
So for me, I do a lot of digging.
Okay.
And then they realize through the process what they're looking for. And then I come up with a solution. So individuals who are listening to this podcast now, do a little bit of research, have an understanding. If there's others involved in the process, talk with them.
Yeah.
Find out what they're lacking, what they're looking for. Because if you're paying good money for a service, you shouldn't just accept anything out of the blue that comes back to you.
Right.
Know what you're looking for and engage that professional for them to deliver exactly what you're looking for. Now, a lot of photographers can't do that, right?
Right.
But if you want the best product and service, you have to demand the best from people. And now it is up to us as photographers to better ourselves so we understand what we need to provide those solutions for our clients. Like I said, I'm a creative guy, right? I love photography. But at the same time, if I am a business person, if I say I am a professional photographer, I should be able to deliver for my client.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing anything. So if you're having an event, you know exactly what you're looking for. Well, I'm going to have about 50 people. It's a celebration for my grandmother's 75th birthday anniversary. We would like for us to have this. What do you think? Will you be able to provide that service? I want to review your portfolio. Do you have any ideas that can make the things that we're looking for more efficient, better in terms of the quality you can deliver for us? It is a discussion.
Right.
You have to be comfortable. And if the person is not at that point, you also have to realize a lot of people who engage photographers, particularly in the city of Buffalo, all they think about is one thing, is how much money it costs.
Yeah. Yep.
That should not be the criteria. That should be 3 or 4 things down the line. So it's okay if you can't afford somebody because they are a certain level. Find somebody else who may be able to accept something less in terms of fee, but also understands what you're looking for and that they can deliver. Too many clients come to me and they say, well, listen, I got this done. It was done, but they didn't deliver. I hated the photos. But I said, did you have a conversation? Did the person know what you're looking for?
Yeah.
They're giving you what they think you should have.
Yeah.
You're paying your money.
I think the biggest thing too, as a consumer, trying to identify a good photographer that fits your needs. Do you think like the industry, like as far as being very vague, because again, I can put a title on photographer. I got a Sony camera sitting right there.
Right.
I can then go on and the internet and say, hey, if you want some photo shoots, just hit me up.
Right, of course.
Do you think it's like as far as vague, as far as the industry of just saying, pushing out there?
Yes and no. I mean, if you go on my website, which is blancphotography.com, you'll go out there, you'll see the various areas that I specialize in. I've done a little bit of education on it too.
Yeah.
But you'll see pop-ups too, engaging you to reach out to me. Because yes, those are all final products. They may not be for you.
Right.
You are an individual client. If you have concerns and questions, you should reach out to me. I'll spend 15 minutes with you and not charge you, right? And consult with you. I need to find out what you're trying to get because I'm the guy who's going to deliver exactly what your needs are. Remember, I am in the solution business.
Solution based, yeah.
Okay? And so for me, and I tell photographers all the time, do the stuff you want to do, get better at it, practice all the time, do your training, work with other photographers who have more experience, learn from them, and all that stuff. And so if, with clients, I tell them to say, if you look, this is the way I am, this is what I do, but I can promise you, if I cannot deliver what you need, I'm just not going to take your money. It's just not my thing. Certain things I don't like to do, I just tell people I don't do it.
Yeah.
It's not because I can't do it. It's because I choose not to do it. It's not my area, and I like to focus on certain things. I focus in making people happy. I want them to look stunning. I do a certain series for fine arts portrait. I do beauty. I love beauty. So I love if somebody comes in, I remake them in my own image in terms of what I want them to look. Some folks will come in and say, I want to look like a supermodel. Okay, I got you.
Right.
I want to look like a piece of art. Okay, I got you. Right? And I have tons of, I don't do everything myself because I'm not an expert in everything. And I'm honest with my clients with that. So I'm not an incredible makeup artist. You can come to my studio, but I know great ones that, again, fit in my culture.
Right.
So if I'm providing you an opportunity to earn, you need to mirror the quality that I provide to my clients. My clients, I'm very sensitive to take care of my clients. They're like my babies. Because you know why? They come to me because they trust me. And also, they're paying me. That's how I take care of my family. So I'm very serious
So
about
you take it
so
very serious.
anybody I'm dealing with, you need to be in the same lane with me. If you can't deliver quality, I'm not gonna collab with you. You're not gonna work with me. I'm not gonna refer any business to you. So people who work with me, they fall right into that category. So what happens? I consistently send those people business because I trust them because they're going to treat my clients with dignity and respect. Very important.
Which is very, very important.
And that's why you'll see folks do testimonials about me all the time. Sometimes I ask them, other times I don't. When they post the stuff, sometimes I feel a little bit embarrassed on how they talk about me, but they do realize that I make myself humble to them all the time. People have a choice, particularly folks in our community, in the Black community. You should not walk in a place that you're going to spend $100, you're going to spend $500, $3,000, and have the clerk there treat you like garbage.
Yeah, that's so important.
It's your money. Yeah. You worked for it. I don't care what your profession was. Either if you were a CNA, if you're an LPN, if you're a nurse manager, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're an attorney, it doesn't matter what you do. It's the money that you're paying that person for that service. They owe it to you. If you go to a restaurant, you don't get great service, you don't go back.
You don't go back. I mean, that was just very powerful, and I wish and hope that any person who's in business get that, because that's so essential into anything that you're doing. And I just think life in general, because I think if you give to people, you give them the experience, and your reputation precedes you, it's going to come back.
You know, and I got to tell you, Robert, again, this is not bragging because I'm a very humble guy. I get about at least a half dozen inquiries for gigs every day.
I believe it.
And that's not only from individuals, but it's also from corporate opportunities.
Yeah.
Right? Because I put myself out there, people know when they have a conversation with me, they're not only hiring me, they're hiring my whole team.
Yeah.
Either, you know, people who subcontract for me, people who I refer business who's part of that network, people who do the work to help me on set, like Rafa, who's my videographer. But they know I get a strong team behind me who thinks exactly like me. And that's the beauty of it. And so, you know, people reach out because people want to do business with people who have success.
Yes.
So even success to me is not because, you know, your company's doing well, you're making a lot of money. No, success is about delivering solutions for people consistently. And I keep coming back to this word.
No, it's
because in anything else, people are looking for others to help them. So if you have a concern or an issue, if you're sick, you go to a physician, you're expecting that physician to listen on how you feel, right?
Yes.
And for them to prescribe the right thing or create a therapy regimen for you. It's the same thing in any other profession. You're running a terrific podcast here, and any client that comes here, if you bring somebody to your podcast and they're unable to deliver quality that makes the show successful, so that, you know, you have your sponsorship partners understand that you're creating value for people out there, then that is not the right person to invite to your show as a producer.
Absolutely.
And that's the key. In every business, again, I come back, I am an entrepreneur, right? In every business, you have to think that way. You must bring value. You must bring solutions, because that's why people are spending money on.
I want to few more questions before we break.
Right.
I want to go to a business practice, a challenging, devastating, maybe that a hurdle business practice that you learned along the way
Right.
that you learned from the most in this business.
Oh my. I have so many of them because I am imperfect. I am someone who's evolving every single day to
Yeah.
get better. You know, it's being in business. You need to have the hoop spot, like they say in New York City. When I lived in New York, I was trained by Jewish people, from Italian, from Russians. I did business with a lot of them.
Yeah.
People were very, very successful. And I've also seen a lot of those people who have done very well for themselves. They have also gone through difficulties that they've lost a lot of money. So we are all imperfect as entrepreneurs. But, for me, sometimes the things I'll tell you the thing that really unnerves me, that annoys me, is that people look at you as face value being a black entrepreneur. They automatically assume that you don't know what the hell you're doing. And for me, those are the thing that bothers me the most.
Yeah.
But I have gone through where I've made mistakes. Something that I was not supposed to do that cost me a lot of money, or even dealing with employees that no matter how much you invest with them as a business person, what you put into them, you're just not getting it.
Right.
It does happen. So some things are completely out of your control. Other things, because I'm a very aggressive guy, I take a chance on something, it doesn't happen. That's fine. I eat the loss, right? So even in baseball, if you hit the ball 1/3 of the time, you're a Hall of Famer. So all these guys, they make a lot of mistakes before they win.
Absolutely.
So for me, as I was telling you off camera, I love no's. No's are a good thing because you learn from the no on what not to do the next time.
Absolutely.
And also it gets you closer to a
the
yes.
Yes.
And I love yeses. So I have automatically, through my training of marketing and sales in my 20s, what I have told myself, it's a great trick, and I'm going to share it with people out there.
Okay.
When people say no, they say no to the business, to the company, or to whatever I represent. When they say yes to me because they like me. They like the relationship they build with me. So that always makes me feel great. And that's the reason why every day I try to build relationships with my potential customers and my current customers, because then it drives referrals. When they're happy with me.
Yeah.
They're unhappy, it was really the company, or maybe I didn't explain myself well enough, or maybe in the time they're not ready for the service, or they have their own personal reasons that they have to deal with. And at that case, I don't want to make their issue my issue.
Right.
So I continue to be very positive. I say that dude is not ready, but let me go to Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith has an issue. I am the guy who's going to fix that problem. And he's going to love me. He loves Yves-Richard Blanc, the Hedgehog King, right? So it's not really the whole thing. I think nothing personally, my friend. Nothing. I just go about life because I love life.
I love that thinking, because I think that does, when you're in the relationship building, it allows you space to, even if I had an issue with what the service you provided me, I'm more apt to come to talk to you and say, hey,
absolutely,
how can we fix this? And I think that's important.
And that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
It should be. There's no room for all this garbage and other things, haters.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when people hate on you, to me, I see that as a good thing.
It is.
And I'm going to tell you why. Because that means they know you're doing something great. They know their own shortcomings. They're hating on you because they're really hating on themselves, that they're not doing the right thing to get better. I have no competition, okay? My whole thing is I'm willing to sit down and have a great conversation with everybody. I want other photographers to do well. Anything that they need, I'm willing to share.
Yeah.
As long as they're going to work hard to make it happen because I'm spending my own quality time sharing knowledge with you.
Yeah.
You better put it to good use.
Absolutely.
If I see that you're not a serious guy, don't call me again. I'm not wasting your time. You're not putting in the work to be great. That's on you. It's not on me. So, and I tell people all the time. So people will hate on me. It's a beautiful thing. As a matter of fact, you're wasting your time with negative thing. You're hurting your business. It doesn't hurt me because I'm a totally positive guy. So it's good. Whatever. I move on and I do what I need to do. So somebody like me I am totally imperfect. Let me say that again. I am imperfect. I make mistakes like everybody else. I just do not allow it to destroy me. So I've lost, businesses, closed down businesses, not made any money, but I never stop because I have a focus to take care of my family. They mean the world to me. If I stop, who's going to take care of them?
I love your drive. I obviously love that you give reference and homage to God, prayer, being determined, having the ability to execute, bounce back from tragedy, and move forward. And then the part of just giving to other people.
It's very important because I got to tell you, Robert, I didn't accomplish all this stuff by myself. There's a lot of great people in Buffalo who supported me, right? They give me access. They introduced me to the right people, but I had to do the work.
Yeah.
I'm not the guy who sits around with his hand out and I get freebie and I'm excited. Oh, I know so and so. I know. No, I need to put in the work. So if somebody schedules a meeting for me or introduces me, I still have to do the work to get that meeting.
Yeah.
I still have to follow through. I still have to do it. And that's developed because those individuals, sometimes people, you start as a client, you become friends, you do a bunch of stuff. But if I was a selfish individual, nobody would want to deal with me.
That's true.
People have to understand life is a two-way street. If you're looking to get, you got to give.
Absolutely.
And most times you got to do it up front.
Yeah, you gotta give, and I think it just naturally comes back to you.
People in my life that have supported me, that have helped me. A lot of great people in Buffalo also. They know who they are, and I thank them all the time. They become sisters to me, brothers to me. And, I'm a guy who loves to hug people because truly my energy, our energies are connected, And it's very important because you'll hear people talk that they have something going on. It's positive. It's all about them. About you. It's not about you. It's about the people you serve.
Absolutely.
It really is.
And you're reaping the benefit, the fruits of, obviously you're benefiting from it just because of what you're putting out there. I want to just, our last two questions is, what's the next move for Blanc Photography?
Well, we just this year launched with the support and the aid of my new assistant, Rafa. He's our videographer on our team. So we're going to be doing a lot more videography work.
Great.
He's a drone specialist as well. So we're going to be doing a lot of branding content for social media, for small businesses, for big companies, for political campaigns. We have the means now to do even short commercials, things like that. But the other thing also, we're going to be pushing our headshot business more into the corporate atmosphere. We just launched this year also a new program that I've created working with very large companies who we're going to go in and do focusing on employee headshots. I do a lot of work with the executives,
right?
But now I want to focus on people who are making less than $100,000 a year, people who are making $20,000 a year, but who still want to have a beautiful headshot. Because they need it for their social media, or they need it because they want to look cool, they want to look beautiful. I don't mind. We created a program, which is a voluntary payroll deduction program, that we will allow the employees over a period of either 4 or 8 weeks to collect the payment for the headshots.
I love that strategy.
I come on location at the company, I create a pop-up studio, and I shoot up to 100 people per day, shooting them, and we create all that stuff and give them professional retouch files. So there's not we do not dilute the quality of the work. We just are able to do more because we have an opportunity. And the companies, it is budget neutral for those companies. All they allow us to do is just brand it within the company, let them know where we're going to be on their company site or campus, and they collect the payroll for us, and they pay us once a month.
Wow.
But the employees now, and this is the beauty, Robert, we are able to reduce our customary costs for a session for a headshot easily by 50%. So
Wow.
you're getting a great discount. You're getting it on the job. You don't have to come up with the money up front. It's work, a partnership that we do with these companies. So now everybody can afford to have it because it's on the site. So if you work at a hospital, if you're working in any of the hospitals here in Buffalo, any of those major corporations, any of those nice big companies, ask to have a meeting with your HR director, with your director of communication. Tell them there's this great program out there.
I love it.
This guy's name is Yves. He's the Hedgehog King, right? We can bring this on every campus, on every company, and we even deal with companies who have multiple sites around the region. We can schedule a time, 2-3 days where they're on there, with scheduled appointment. We are also even inviting one of our makeup artists to be there. That again, reduced price. We could do something very quickly while you're at the job. You know when we're coming, boom, we get your headshots done.
So let me ask you a question. So, if I were to, do business with you, you pretty much would have everything in one. Pretty much like if I come to you and say, hey, I need a makeup artist, I need help with a stylist, I need some kind of referral to get this done, like maybe some creativity, which is great.
I have surrounded myself with really quality people of like mind.
Really dope.
The number one thing is, yes, they have to be great at what they do, but the number one thing for me, for my brand, is providing a great experience to the client and to serve my clients with respect and dignity. It is crucial for me in terms of my brand. People complain all the time that they don't get great service. It bothers me, Robert.
Yeah.
It really does. Yeah, that person worked hard for that money that they're paying you. They deserve high quality service. And so all the people who are around me, they think exactly the same way. It could be a makeup artist. It could be a hair person. It could be a set designer. It could be a fashion designer who designs, the clothing, a stylist on set for me. All those people, they think exactly the same. They know in order to continue to generate referrals from me, they need to meet those guidelines.
Yeah.
And I've delivered consistently for my clients, and that's the business that I'm in. I'm in the business of people.
I love it.
Right? I'm in the business of people because I want people to feel great when they leave my set. That's what I want.
So you dropped so much valuable information. I want to just, my last question is if there's any one thing, and you probably touched upon many of those things already, but if there's one thing that you would give to an aspiring photographer or videographer that's trying to get into the industry?
The one thing that I would say, and I say this all the time, Rafa is here in the room and he will tell you, you have to keep getting better at your craft every single day. I mean, this kid who works with me, he is relentless in terms of his knowledge, getting better every day. And that's why I love working with him. He is always doing research. He's always testing things. He's always shooting on his own. It's not necessarily you doing something that you're making money, but that's how you get better. Because you're a creative person. If you don't keep doing what you're doing, you'll never get better.
Right.
Because currently now you're not in school. How do you evolve? You cannot test on somebody who's paying you their good money if you couldn't do it. Or if you've never done it before and you're engaged with someone, but you have the confidence that you could do it, you need to practice it many times before engage that person. Now, if you're doing a collab and you're doing an experiment is one thing, right? But if the person, there are hard-earned money. The other thing too, when I do shoots on location, I've never been on that location. I take time out to go there before I don't want any surprises.
Right.
So a young photographer, an aspiring business person, I would tell them do a lot of research, do a lot of practice, do things that are important, and keep evolving your craft. And the other thing that is crucial be a solution person, okay? And respect your clients. Don't think it's about you because you're very good, because you got an expensive camera. Wow. It's never about you. Keep doing stuff. Keep going out there. Keep believing in yourself. And go after things that you don't think you can do. It's okay. Go and do it. That's how you're going to get better.
Listen, brother, I thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come to in this platform of Empower716. And just, like I said, this show was created to provide a space for other entrepreneurs, business owners, and those who have a side gig, in whatever the case may be.
Well, I started as a side gig. Right?
Yeah, and then you transfer that.
Does.
Yeah.
A lot of people do. So
And I think it's important, and it's always in God's timing too.
Exactly.
And I think that's important to tell our audience as well. So I just want to thank everybody who's listening. If you are watching us right now or on the replay, just make sure you like it, share it, allow us to get this value out to other people. Again, if you are listening in the podcast, thanks for listening in and locking into another episode of Empower716. Until our next episode on Monday, we got Jonathan Macklin coming in from Proctor Car Wash and Barbershop. So we're going to sit down and talk to him about his business and what he's doing for the community. Until next time, peace.
Hey, what's up, Western New York? Did you know that Empower716 Talk Show is looking to promote and recognize young entrepreneurs in Western New York? You could recommend yourself or someone else to be acknowledged on a future episode. Nominees need to be age 21 or under, has a service or product that offers value, has taken steps to become an entrepreneur, and must be willing to come on the show and talk about their service or product if selected. Email us at empower716@gmail.com.